But there's stereotypes for every instrument in the orchestra.
Oh, let's go. Well, let's hear them.
Let's go section by section.
All right, so brass. Brass are like the frat bros. They drink beer.
Band camp.
Band camp. I should say the frat people because there are women who play brass. Yeah, so
Fair enough.
they're the Greek
Fair,
life
yeah.
of the orchestra. And then you have woodwinds, and those are very. I guess it depends on the type of woodwind. They're very particular people. They play very small instruments, and they focus on very small things. So, for example, the oboe, they just spend hours making reeds, these little itty bitty mouthpieces. I love oboe players. This is not me saying it's a bad thing, by the way.
They're just crafting.
Yeah, they're craftsmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, woodwind players are craftsmen. This is so nobody meets me out on the street to beat me up.
I heard what you said about the oboe.
I feel like you're also describing the personality of the instruments.
Yeah.
Brass is like boom, boom, like super like in your face.
Well,
right?
I mean, credit to the brass. There are some beautiful brass sounds out there, like French horn. Oh, I love me some French horn. Shout out to the French horn player. And then you have, what am I skipping here? Percussion.
Oh, that's me.
Percussion. Was that
I was
you?
on
Did you-
drumline.
He was so excited to tell you that.
The percussion is like in terms of orchestra, they feel like the outliers because in a fascinating way, in a way that I love, they make music by hitting things that aren't necessarily, they are notes in a scientific point of view, but they're not notes. Like you're hitting something and making music out of it. I think that's fascinating. I love drummers, like drum set, especially in jazz and stuff like that, because I mean they say stuff without playing a note in terms of melody. They make a melody out of sound. That doesn't make any sense what I just said, but it made sense in my head. So yeah, the percussionists are like they're the different ones and in a really fascinating way. And then you have string players. And the string player stereotypes is definitely like the range of your instrument affects how chill you are. So we'll start with bass players. That's so chill.
They feel
That's
chill.
bass across every form of music.
They cannot be bothered. Yeah. So then you have cellists, one step up, also super chill. Cellists are my favorite. They're like the most wholesome, I feel, of the string players. I don't know. Well, to me, it's the closest to like the range of most human voices. It's like the tenor range. And it's a little intimate to like hold an instrument between your legs and you're like playing all these sexy ass notes. Like, it's a sexy instrument.
Wait, we went from wholesome, but that's a sexy instrument.
Just loving their
wholesome and sexy and loving,
Everyone out there shaking their oboe like, God
It's
damn
like,
it.
why did I get into reeds?
And then violas, lovely violas. I don't know when, how, or why they turned into the butt of all the orchestra jokes, but they did, and I don't get why. Like, it's a great instrument. But I guess if we're going on levels of like chillness, right, they're still pretty low, like in terms of like range. So very chill people. And then you have violinists who are, I see us as like little birds. We're just up here singing our melodies. And look at me. I'm so pretty.
Are all viola players jealous that they're not violin players?
No, I think there's a viola joke about that. I don't think so. Every violist I know loves being a violist. They're like, I don't want to play all those high notes and all those like crazy ass melodies and stuff like that. Yeah. So violinists are very high energy, love to be in the spotlight, divas, as you said. We're all divas in some way. But yes, those are, I think I hopefully covered everything in the orchestra in terms of stereotypes.
What about maestros?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the conductors. Well, that's the boss of the orchestra. So I feel like everybody has a very similar experience with bosses, right? Even if they're like the best boss in the world, it's your boss.
We're not going to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. A conductor lives they don't live a lonely life. They're very social, but you know, yeah, maybe you aren't gonna hang out with the conductor after rehearsal.